Hello and welcome. I am Preacher. These are the pews, and today I have to have a quick one for you, ladies and gentlemen. You might not know this about me, but I am a massive Final Fantasy stan. Put my Final Fantasy tier list up. Yeah, massive Final Fantasy stan. Love Final Fantasy. So when the topic of the day becomes Square Enix on Twitter, for me, it's a frustrating day because I know most of these people do not play Final Fantasy, do not play Square Enix games, and have no clue what they're talking about, right? Of course, I'm talking about Xbox. Xbox fans do not play Square Enix games. We have the numbers. We have the numbers to show they do not buy these games. They do not support these games. That's why these games don't come to their platforms. That's why it's so easy for somebody like Sony to come in and make an exclusive deal because they know they're not going to make anything on Xbox. And yet you have bot after bot after bot after bot trying to insinuate that their third-party exclusivity deals failed somehow, right? We're talking about Final Fantasy 16, the highest selling PS5 game in Japan, right? 7R, the second highest PS5 exclusive. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, fourth highest selling game of the year so far. Gaudy frontrunner. They say in their own financials that the exclusive slate the third party exclusive slate that they put out has been a highlight. That's what pushed them over the edge. They've said over and over that their financial woes are a part of their shifting strategy. They've canceled a bunch of their smaller games, which they should have done. This is a good thing. They're taking the loss on the chin, and they're moving forward with more focus on their HD titles, meaning their AAA games. You know what I mean? We've been asking Square Enix for this for years, and yet this is trying to be spun as their third party exclusivity has gone poorly, specifically Rebirth and specifically on the PS5, when a majority of the third party exclusives go to Nintendo, right? But it doesn't fit the narrative, so they don't want to say that. You know what I mean? It just doesn't fit the narrative. It is so crazy to watch this happen every time. Anytime it's Square Enix, like, whatever the fact is just gets so skewed because they're just like, oh, Square Enix is doing so bad. Square Enix is doing so bad. You always hear Square Enix is doing so bad. They're being carried by 14. It's fine. MMOs are down. That's what they mostly need to worry about, and they're about to bounce back because Dawn Trail is coming out. They wouldn't even know that because they don't play Final Fantasy. They don't care about Final Fantasy. They just hate that such a massive exclusive is exclusive. Such a massive property, that's likely going to win Game of the Year, is exclusive to the PlayStation. They hate it. It eats their heart, and I'm glad. And they're never going to get those games because they don't play those games, right? That's a lie. They're going to get those games after the third one comes out, right? And then you get the whole thing, but you're not going to get them while they're coming out. That's it. Period. Done. Right? When they say multi-platform, surely they mean Switch 2 and PC. I don't think they mean Xbox. I really don't, because they don't make the money there. That's not where the money is. We've seen it over and over and over and over and over. And they're being exposed on Twitter. Mad Xbox are being exposed on Twitter with this because the narrative just doesn't line up. We have the numbers to show that they do more Nintendo exclusives than PlayStation exclusives, but that's the one you want to point to. That's what you want to say. You're reaching so hard for a narrative that's not even there, that Square Enix themselves tell you isn't successful endeavor, right? But yesterday, when they're closing down Tango, this week when they're closing down Tango Gameworks, it's, oh, well, y'all don't know how to run a multi-billion-dollar company, so you can't understand the deep financials, right? All of a sudden, there, the financials are like reading a crystal ball, but here, apparently porting to Xbox is, well, yeah, maybe y'all shouldn't be running a fucking multi-billion-dollar company, because clearly y'all don't know shit. Clearly y'all don't know shit. How is putting games on Xbox that doesn't sell any games themselves, they can't even sell their own games, gonna help Square Enix? Come on, man. So I just wanted to put that out. Like I said, these Square Enix ones frustrate me because I'm not gonna lie, like I said at the top, I am a Final Fantasy fanboy. I take that series personally. You know what I mean? So when I see these, I do get a little more inflammatory than I would for any PlayStation shit. This is not about the PlayStation shit. This is about the false narrative being built against Square Enix and the Final Fantasy franchise. You know what I mean? I have no problem saying I'm fanboying for the franchise, but I'm also right. So as I was recording this, it came to light that Square Enix is going through a round of layoffs. The layoffs keep coming, ladies and gentlemen. We weren't a fan of it with Xbox. We weren't a fan of it with PlayStation. We're not a fan of it here with Square Enix. Looks like publishing, IT, and the indie games label are predominantly affected, but we have to keep in our minds first and foremost that the people who make our games are important. Without them, there are no games, and the lack of job security in the games industry is admonishable. You know what I mean? All of these companies are making enough money to keep these people employed, and I can only hope that everybody finds their way back onto their feet soon. Hopefully, I do believe Capcom is in that region hiring, so hopefully a lot of people are able to stay within the games industry because talent retention is so important. I would hate to lose the next, Sakaguchi, the next Nomura, the next Yoshi P for layoffs. You know what I mean? You never know. With that in mind, I'm going to wrap this up. I am Preacher, and I hope to see you back here on the pews.